as Gareth was saying, that the team now is a very different team. Lots of you have got backgrounds in other countries as well as in England. There's obviously many, many more black players. And you made a big statement together. Struck me watching that the real sense I got of this England team was togetherness. You had made the decision to take the knee together to support each other. Was that how it was? And
yeah, I'd say, we have a few meetings with the leadership teams a lot of the time, and with Gareth and Mitch sometimes, to see what our stance is, and we want to do things, as I said, as a collective. Have everyone's opinions. But I said a lot of the boys in the team now. We've played with each other on the 21s. With me, H, Hendo, those age group brackets, and then the younger ones, they all really know each other. So I think the one thing about this team, when you come in the building, you'd be really amazed at how everyone is so integrated with everyone, with cultures as well.
For you as a manager, the players are taking what some people saw as a political act. Was the key to this that they did it all together? That you as England made a statement?
Yeah, I think there's a long story to this, really, because this decision we took last year, from a team perspective, really started in Montenegro when Raheem, Danny suffered abuse during the game. And I wasn't aware until very close to the end of the game when Danny Rose got booked, and there was a reaction from the crowd. And I didn't realise earlier in the game that on the other side of the pitch there'd been racist abuse going on. So when we got in the change room, I'm having to go at Danny for getting booked, and I had to apologise on the plane because it suddenly emerged that this had been going on during the game. So I didn't like the fact that the boys felt they couldn't mention it in the changing room at half time or report it. So for me, it was like, well, God, this is awful. Why? How is this environment where our players are allowed to be abused on the pitch and they don't even feel comfortable to report it or feel that anything's going to happen? And even now, I know that we would all worry about, well, even if we report it, is anything going to be done about it? But at the very least, this had to be a team where we were united on how we saw it, and we could send a message to young kids watching that I think the lads maybe didn't realise how powerful that would be going into a tournament, because they want to concentrate on the football. And they want to be judged primarily on the football, but what Raheem has done in this space in particular, I remember when you put the articles out on how Tosin had been reported on as a young player and how a similar sort of story on Phil and the difference, and it was clear the way those things had been reported. And so there were a lot of things that happened over the last few years, including the incident with George Floyd, I think, which led, it educated me a lot, and I wanted to represent the players in the best way I could, really.
Yeah, so I think, especially with this topic, I think how, us as a team took a stance, I think the big question was, are we going to continue doing it through the Euros? And I think a lot of the times when, the racism comes up or something's happened, I think a lot of time in football, and majority in society, we tend to address it for, that period, that 5 days, or that week. And then, we normally brush it up under the carpet and things are all fine now. And when the next scenario happens, that's when we go again, but us as a country, players that's, been in those scenarios, face some of those racist abuse. On a whole, we just wanted to kind of keep highlighting that, yes, there's been times that we've sat down and say, is the message still powerful? And we've said yes. And, as a group and a collective, we've, tried to keep that going.
Well, the reaction to those penalty misses in the final kind of made your point, didn't it?
You being frustrated, that shouldn't result to, negative comments to someone's skin colour.
I think what hurt me was that this was a group of players who had brought everybody together for 30 days or whatever it was on a brilliant journey. And then the first time we ever set back and the defeat, now all of a sudden we're going to allow this division to happen. I wasn't happy about that at all. And what I was really pleased, actually, although there was a horrible reaction that night from, too many people, but still a minority, I thought there was a brilliant counter-reaction where the majority of the fans and public were saying, actually, we're not having this. We're with Bukayo and Marcus and Jayden. So, everybody else can go and do their thing, really. But sad we have to live through that, to make it feel that way.
BBC Sounds. Music, radio, podcasts.